Hey you guys, it's Frosty the Snowdan here with you. Everyone's expecting Mewtwo to come out soon, and I've seen quite a few videos on what would be good against him, and I don't think that any of the videos I've seen are wrong in any way, but I definitely approach my legendaries and larger bosses on a different path than what I've seen so far. And so you might see a little bit of the same, but you might also see me toss some people out or barely use something, toss some people out, toss some Pokemon out. We don't toss people out. Anyway, get rid of some Pokemon in the mix because we have a lot. We don't have to use the same 12 for every raid boss, and there might be some that are kind of protected against these psychic attacks, ghost attacks, fighting attacks that Mewtwo is going to have. And basically, to make a long story long, survivability means a lot, especially if you don't have enough people for the raid. If you can survive, you can do more damage. Just like when I was doing Halo for a long time, survivability meant you were alive to get more kills. You were able to do more damage. Same thing in World of Warcraft. You were alive to do more damage. You couldn't do any damage when you were dead. So there's certain things that you can obviously do with that. You can just sit there and click, 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 and tap your phone till all your guys are dead and come back in and hope that it doesn't glitch out. But I think that we've all missed out on the opportunity for not just the legendary, but even the XP and candy, and lost our raid pass doing that. So surviving, actually using some dodges and some Pokemon who are not weak against what you're fighting, against any of their attacks. Because yeah, a Tyranitar is amazing, but if he does have Focus Blast, he's going to knock your Tyranitar in the mud. I'm not a fan of being knocked in the mud. I want to stay out of the mud. So I want to help you guys get that too. By all means, we don't know what he's going to have, what he's not going to have. If you want to throw a Tyranitar in there, do it. You want to throw a Golem in there, do it. I'm going to try to help you have Pokemon that aren't at risk to take extra damage during those special moves, because a lot of people that I see don't dodge at all, and those special moves kill them, and they can one-shot you, especially if you're going to take extra damage on top of it. Survivability can mean a lot. Very often during the legendary raids I've been doing, I'll see that I'm on my second or third Pokemon, while other people are on their fifth or sixth, or even starting their second series already. I'm typically there by myself when other people are loading back in or trying to and are stuck. That being said, I typically don't dodge a lot of the regular attacks. I might hit 3, maybe 4 times in between the attacks and then dodge. I build up specials very quickly that way. Also with their stronger attacks, I almost dodge every single one of those. So a lot of the regular attacks I dodge, and the special ones very rarely miss me, or very rarely miss me. That's great advice. Very rarely get me. So a lot of survivability there. And when they do hit me, they're hitting for minor damage because I'm not using anything they could possibly get. Now, that in mind, if maybe somebody's leaving the raid and you're just getting into the raid, you can be like, hey, did he have Focus Blast? No? Okay, here's 3 or 4 Tyranitars because he doesn't have Focus Blast. I'm going to fight this Mewtwo with all the Tyranitars I have. Great. No problem. But if you don't know what he's going to have in there and you want to one-shot it, we're just going to talk about some survivability here and matching up maybe some stuff you don't use all the time, but you might even have a little bit of fun with. I probably should pull up something else on my screen just so that you guys can see it while I'm kind of talking about this. But let's see, this is my fighting group that I like to go with. I put the zeros in front of the numbers for the ones who are top 10 fighters, ones for the ones that I go to often, twos and so on, and you can see what I'm doing there. And because right now the bulk of what I'm doing are legendary raids. If it's not a legendary raid, I'm not very interested. By now I've done enough Tyranitar raids where I have 9 Tyranitars, 10 Tyranitars, and I'll do them again. I'll do more Lampress raids, but right now we have a limited time to get these legendaries, so I'm doing that with the majority of my passes. So I've straight up named them. I'm already ready for Ho-Oh, as you can see on some of those, just ready to go. And I named my Dragonite Mew off a different video that I saw today, but I'm going to check him out and see if that's actually viable. So let's get right into it after that long introduction. Thanks for sticking with me. But he's a psychic, right? He's straight up psychic. He's nothing else. He's not flying, which is kind of nice because a lot of the legendaries were dual type. They were fire and flying. They were ice and flying. And so, you know, you might have something that's strong against them, but weak against flying, and they might have that flying attack, and now you can't use them against the legendary. So, getting into it, Psychic. What is strong against Psychic? Bug, Ghost, and Dark. So Bug, Ghost, Dark, right? Now, let's consider the attacks that Mew's going to have. He has, obviously, psychic attacks. That's good against fighting and poison. So that's not Bug, Ghost, or Dark. We're not worried about that. Let's check out Ghost. If Ghost is strong against him, it's actually strong against Psychic. So if you have a straight-up Ghost, great. But his Ghost attack is going to be strong against Psychic and Ghost. So now you got to get rid of the Ghost in the mix because his Ghost is going to be strong against Ghost. And you're going to lose that battle. You know, you're going to be strong against him, he'll be strong against you, but he's got like 42,000 hit points, so you're going to die. So I'm just going to skip my Ghosts. I'm going to go Bug at this point, and let me check out Dark. Alright, so we still have Dark, who's good against Fighting Fairy and Bug. He has a fighting move, obviously, so we want to see if that's only good against normal. Not very worried about that. Let's see here. And obviously the fighting is also good against the Tyrannitars, which is what we're worried about. So when I look at bug types, you can straight up just go into the little magnifying glass, hit bug, and here's the bug types. Now it's still organized by what I like to use. A to Z has the numbers in front. So I know with Mew, I can level up my Scissors. I can level up a Pinsar. Not a lot of strong bug types, right? You're not going to use 6 Scissors in there. So let's go and just say you use maybe 1, maybe 2 Scissors. You can use Fortress. You guys saw other stuff on the list right there. It can be fun to use. Myself, I don't have a very strong Fortress. He's 1764. He's very good, but I just haven't used the Stardust on him. Then you look at like lead-ins. Pinsir, I mean, you could level up a Pinsir and maybe you already got a good one that could do just fine with him. I mean, this one's pretty darn good, so I could use my Pinsir against him. Then I go to Dark types, and I already know what it's going to say, but I'm going to pull it up. So here's your Tyrannitars, right? This is why you want them, so that they have Bite and Crunch, and you level them up, and you run in there and you kill Mew. I get it. And again, if you know he doesn't have Focus Blast, or you just know you're going to dodge it, alright, I mean, go for the Tyrannitars. I'll probably throw 1 in the lineup and try to dodge his special attacks, but I'm probably not risking more than that. Houndoom is going to do well. I've got some strong Houndooms in there. I've got this Espeon. That's good. Espeon? Umbreon? Yeah, he's a wonder. Hit points exceed, so he's perfect hit points. And I mean, he's got 153. So he's under 2,000, which I typically don't fight often with that, but I'd throw 1 in the mix. He's going to do strong against the Psychic type. So where does that leave us? So we have 1 Tyranitar. We have 1 Houndoom. We have 1 Espeon, right? Or is it Umbreon? I get them confused every time. I'm going to say that's Umbreon. Yeah, that's Umbreon. And then we have the Scissors. So we have maybe 4. You guys might want to X-nay any one of those because maybe you don't have a strong one. You don't have one that has great IVs or the right move sets. You're not willing to burn the TMs on them. No problem. Let's go back. All right. Now, what do we have that isn't weak against him? So we already have 3 or 4 things that are strong. And again, this is looking at what I have. You may have a completely different Pokédex. It might be awesome and amazing and much better than mine. I don't know. But I'm looking at what are going to be these top attackers that aren't going to take extra damage against Mew. So when I look at this, obviously you have your Glass Cannons with Alakazam. Probably not throwing them in there against Mew. I don't have a lot of survivability, and not a big fan of that sense. Let's see. So he has the Psychic, he has the Fighting, and he has Ghost that is strong against Psychic. So no, because he has Ghost attacks that are strong against Psychic, I'm leaving Alakazam out of the mix. Gengar, I would love to throw in there. This is a very good Gengar. Shadow Claw, Shadow Ball, great attacker, but again, I'm going to take more damage than Mew, and he has 91 hit points. Even if I level him up some, he might have 93 hit points. Not loving that matchup. He is a Poison type, and he's Ghost. He can take damage with 2 of the different special attacks right off the bat. Not using Gengar. Okay? You got the Umbreon. Alright, so he's Psychic. That takes extra damage from Ghost attacks, so he's eliminated. So we have Flying and Fire. Moltres does not take extra damage. He is a top attacker. You can level him up, use some rare candy, get up over 2,500, and do some serious damage with Fire Spin and Overheat. I'm a fan. Then you go to Dragonite. You have Dragon and Flying. We haven't heard of any of the attacks, Fighting, Ghost, Psychic, that are strong against either one of those types, and he's a strong attacker. I have candy. I might level him up and use my Dragonite. Most of you probably have a stronger Dragonite than I do. I just got mine. I got enough candy for him in New Orleans, in the French Quarter. There was a Dratini that would spawn across the street from my hotel, and every like 2 hours I'd get up and go get it, and get up and go get it. And I would use the, Pineapple Berry, and just get the extra candy every time, and eventually I got my Dragonite. In Arizona, we don't see a lot of this guy. I've had 2 run from me. So frustrating. Anyway, fire types are going to be good, especially when they're not dual types. A top attacker, Flareon, Fire Spin, Overheat. He's pretty big. Not a lot of survivability with the hit points, so he's not going to be my first option. I mean, I'm probably already rounded out as a team with my Umbreon, with my Scissors, my Moltres, my Dragonite, Houndoom, one Tyranitar. I'm already good, but we can keep going a little bit here. Obviously, you have Arcanine. I've got a big, nasty Arcanine that does good damage, does fast attacks. Fast attacks means he can move the heck out of the way before he gets hit by that truck. This is probably the Tyranitar I'm going to use. Still has Stone Edge. You can use it TM for your charge move. Switch it over to Crunch if you want. Switch it back when you're done with your Mews. Another one is Vaporeon, Water type. Doesn't take extra damage. Has 208 hit points, right? Water Gun and Hydro Pump does good damage. He has survivability. Doesn't take extra damage. Another thing to consider is quick attacks. Dude's crazy. He hits and he gets out of the way. He ducks and weaves. That's what you want on your team, right? I do have a very good IV Snorlax here that has a Ghost attack. Ghost attack's going to be strong against Psychics. He's normal though, so if he's in there and there's fighting moves coming from that Mew, he's going to get beat down pretty quick, even though he has a lot of HP. And did you see the HP? 223, Vaporeon, 208. Not a huge difference. That Vaporeon is probably going to be within a couple regular attacks of that Snorlax. They would die at the same amount of charge moves. Moving on, if we go to like the Rhyhorn, you have obviously a ground rock type. Got to be scared about the fighting. You could have a Gyarados. Here's water and flying. Nothing wrong there. You could switch off the dragon moves and go to a bite move for the main attack. Then you go to something like, as you guys see where I'm going with this. You can use strong things that aren't taking extra damage. None of those attacks that he's going to have are extra strong against ice attacks. So I might use my Articuno. You have options. That's not my first option. You guys already heard my first team. But, you have other things you can use. Charizard is fun. Fire Spin, Overheat. This is a big, nasty Charizard. He's a Wonder, HP, attack, exceeds. That means he has a 15 on the attack out of 15. 15 on, I think it was the hit points. So, I mean, again, you have other things that you can use. Something that could be fun, you know, if you got a big team, here's Shadow Claw and Overheat that I can use on a straight up fire type against Mew, and he can do some extra damage there, right? Not a lot of hit points. That's if you got a large team and you want to have some fun. But again, you guys get the point, and maybe you agree with me, maybe you don't, but it's my own 2 cents, and I'm just trying to help. So I hope that does help some of you out there prepare for Mew. If you have any questions, please post them in the comments. A lot of the information that I like to get from this is if you guys look up pokemon.gameinfo.io, if you look up rankedboost.com, you can see all the types, what they're strong and weak against. If you want to go a little bit more in depth, pokemon.gameinfo.io, I'll post it in the description. But I hope you guys have a lot of fun. Hope he's out soon. Again, let me know if you have questions in the comments, and I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, just shoot it a like, maybe subscribe. I'd appreciate it. But anyway, you guys take care. Stay frosty.